Hello everyone. I figured I'd give you this video here to demonstrate some of the simplest um, strategies you can employ. First being the plunge shot or skill shot or whatever you want to call it. There is a skill shot in this game, but it's a risky one. The reason I feel that it's too risky is simply because you're waiting for that to hit a certain point to hit that target that's buried up under here. Okay, that's all fine and well. You get 100,000 if you can time that just right every time. That's great, 100,000 points. But as I'm going to demonstrate here, we're going to do a bunch of plunges, full plunges. This is what's called full plunge, and see how many times it comes right down the center. The other issue is the view that I use is number 1 now. I used to use number 2 until today, then I switched it to number 1, and that's when I put up my decent score. Now if you thumb through it, now you can see that scrolling skill shot. Pull the plunger back, and I think if it hits the second one up is when you should let it go. Nope. Right there. That was savable. Okay. So that's 1. And mind you, you don't get the ball back. Okay. I'm not sure. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So whenever, let me do a little quick little plunge to get the. So whenever it is like this, okay, you're saying, oh, how do I see it? How do I see it? I'm using an Xbox controller. A lot of people use them. I highly recommend them. And I also highly recommend a genuine Xbox controller. I seem to get more life out of it. This is my son's used one they beat the crap out of for God knows how many years. And it still works flawlessly, other than the plug coming undone and making me lose my ball once in a while. You can buy cheap ones, generic ones, as I call them. Over here in the States, they're about $25. I can't get more than a month or 2 out of them before one of the buttons that you use to clip starts to stick here and there, and that's just annoying to me. So, but anyway, when your view is like this and you press the X button on the controller, it'll scroll back up. So now you can make your skill shot. So the first ball was probably savable. I should have tried to save it. So let's full plunge again and try to plunge it from the bottom light. There it is. Now that time, come to a trap. Fine. Okay, let's let that one drink. Okay, once again, press the X. Okay, that's skill shot. Now you're praying it doesn't come. Okay, so 1 out of 3 on that first, like I said, the first one is probably savable. Yeah, a little nudge one way or the other. People with keyboards, I don't know the keyboard function as far as what letter or whatever to press for the nudge, but when I first started playing this, I started with a keyboard. And after playing it for 2 months, my son says, why don't you use my Xbox controller? Well, there went the cord. So I started using it, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so much better. And I never went back. So we'll call this 1 out of 3 was a good plunge, or bad plunge. Oh, nice. Skill shot. Whoop-dee-doo. Okay, let's play it again. We'll do 3 more plunges and see what we get. Then we'll try the soft plunge. Okay, once again, press the X to look at the backboard. A little early, but I got away with it. Okay, that one come back safe. Let it drain. We're not interested in points today. Oops. There we go. Okay, that one comes down to a trap. And like I said, you know, not doing this video, it could do that every single time. But I've had many come right down, straight down the middle, and there is nothing you can do but wave a goodbye. I got my finger on a plunger here. The other thing to point out, Dr. Dude and its programming is designed to light the extra ball in the number 1 loop. That light's flashing, that means you have an extra ball lit. Shoot it up there, gives you an extra ball. I call it a pity extra ball because I feel sorry for you for having such a lousy score. But it is what it is. You know, that could lead you to a better score. And keep in mind, you still get the extra ball at 5 million. So you potentially have 2 extra balls, but at this point in the game, you're like, oh my god. But anyway, let's do a full plunge. Right there. Right down the middle. You have no control. I mean, you can sit there and nudge it back and forth or whatever, and not much you can do about it. Okay, now that we're done demonstrating that, let's do the soft plunge thing. This is going to be hard for those of you that use a keyboard. I think you just press a key and you just time it just right. With a Xbox controller, I can move it wherever I want, hold it there, let it go. That's one way to handle the soft plunge. The nice thing about a soft plunge is watch what happens when I let it drain. You get the ball back. As long as you don't hit anything up on the playfield, you'll get the ball back. Except if you have 1 ball locked for multi-ball. If you do that when you have 1 ball locked, that ball is gone. It'll kick out the other one that you just locked up, and you'll be back to single ball play. So keep that in the back of your mind when you're soft plunging. The other way to handle the soft plunge is to try to bring it to a trap on this flipper. And I think I discussed this in the previous video. Soft plunge. And what I did there is, right when the ball was right about there, put the flipper up and it come down, and it had no choice but to jam itself into the corner here. Sometimes you don't time it right and it'll flip away up God knows where. So that takes some practice, and I'll show you a great way to practice this shot. But from here, look at all the shots you can make. You control where the ball is going. The machine's not controlling it. You can shoot the magnet, bring down to a trap, shoot that, shoot the magnet. So 3 flips, I have 110,000 points, which is more than your skill shot. Unless you have 2x playfield running, which you're not going to because you drain probably. But that's the gist of that. Let me show you some mistimed soft plunges and what can happen. I hit it a little bit early, but I still got away with it. it varies a little bit when it's coming down to the flipper. Sometimes it's real tight against the slingshot, and sometimes it's not. Let's let that one drain. That's the nice thing about the soft plunge. If you can keep trapping it like that, you can keep practicing over and over. Okay. Okay, I think it went up and hit that switch up there now. See? The key there. Wow, go away with that one. The key there is not to panic and start flipping all over the place. I let it settle back down onto the flipper before I flipped. Unfortunately, I didn't hit nothing, so I'll get the ball back. That was close to going over the tip. Like I said, once you get the hang of it, it's like, wow, this is so easy now. But let's cover the dead bounce to the other flipper. Bouncing off the right flipper, going to the left. Oh, this was pretty high. Okay, either way, it's safe. Now, shoot whatever you want. That's not what I wanted. There's that. And here again, it's coming back, being safe. You shoot it up there. Side-to-side motion on a pinball machine is never good. And if you miss the magnet shot, try it again. I see how I nudged it right before it got to the flipper. I'm still lacking in my nudging skills, but I'm getting better. When the ball's coming slow like that, you got time to react. Okay, don't nudge when it's way up here, because that ain't gonna do nothing. Nudge it when it's down here. It'll just move it ever so slightly, so you can. If you can get a flipper on it, the ball can be saved. If I could shoot a shot, it would be great too. The other thing about these flippers, you got these little lines on them. You can kind of use that as a guide. Okay, when it gets to this line, flip, and it'll go in there. You know, you can kind of use that for an aimer. And as you can see, it doesn't work for me. But essentially, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 shots in this game. You know, it's pretty mundane as far as the number of shots to do anything with. If you avoid the pop bumpers up there, and I've played games where it maybe went up there once or twice by accident, but my 30+ million game was maybe three times it went up there. The rest of the game is all down here. This is down here is the control area. Up there, you're out of control. So, I think I pretty much handled that. The next part of the video is going to be shooting that red target, which we're going to take her around with right now before I want to go into 5-minute mode so I get the ball back and not have to restart games over and over. So, okay, I just shot it from the left flipper. It come back fairly safe. That was one shot. Okay. The other shot I make is from the right flipper. This is the one I prefer to make, but I'm still up in the air whether it's really safe or not. Because watch what it does whenever I do shoot it. Heads right for the outlane. And if you're not ready for it, you know, my thumb is almost always on the left joystick to give it a little nudge. Because if it hits this post right here, there's a chance it will bounce up out of there or come over into the in lane. And this stupid shield here doesn't help me with the view that I'm using because I can't see the ball, and a lot of times I don't react fast enough. So you got to be ready for it. And I've even tried to, what I call pre-nudge, like nudge as soon as it gets over there, no matter where it's going. And a lot of times it just sends it out the drain. And if I wouldn't have nudged, it would have been fine. So it takes practice. So we'll shoot the Mixmaster, or attempt to. I was hoping that would bounce over. It's alright. I'm not trying to score points. But we have to get out of multi-ball to... So here again, keep in mind, I really want it on this flipper so I can shoot the Mixmaster. I don't want it to bounce over to the left flipper because then I got to go into the number 2 slot, up and around. So let's see if I can trap it. Okay. Is that going to train me? Yep. Just going through that little gate. There's a little gate right here. That was one switch. That's all it takes for it to say, okay, ball's over. So I just didn't hit the ramp right. That's a steep ass ramp. So okay, let's go to 5-minute mode. And tinker around with shooting. Like I said, I want to concentrate on this red target right here, hitting it over and over again from either flipper, just to see what drains and what doesn't, you know. Okay, once again, soft plunge. Now you see how I let it settle down on the flipper. The ball's not out of control, believe it or not. You know, it's going slow. It's in a manageable area, and you just be patient with it. Don't, oh my God, just panic and... Okay, we're going to try one from the left flipper. Now, often, that's what happens to me. Up into the danger area. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I've talked to other people on the league, and one guy says he uses the left, the other guy says he uses the right, so it's a matter of preference. So let's try that from the right. See, that's the problem with shooting it on a fly. If you miss, you're in deep doo-doo. But unfortunately, there isn't much you can do because it's screaming down to down the in lane to the flipper. If you hold the flipper up, it's probably just going to trickle over the edge and fall down the center. Let's try holding the flipper up and see if it'll bicycle jump over to the other flipper. Well, won't work that way. See? It just won't quite do it. Now 5-minute mode, kicking the ball out, that's a perfect soft plunge for you to practice on. So just catch it. Catch it. Let it go. I mean, that's a perfect practice. You don't have to sit here and play with I mean, it's nice to nice to play with your joystick, but you know, you don't have to sit there and fiddle with it. Learn one thing at a time, learn it well, move on to the next thing to learn. Okay, let's shoot the red target. Or not. Okay, let's shoot it from the left. It's an early shot. That was a little too early. Okay. Well, that one was a little out of control. See if we get the gab. How about that? Okay. Shoot the red target. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Let's try it from the right. That was just poorly planned. Okay, that one drained. Practice your trap. But you see how it wants to go out the out lane, but there's a rubber over there, a little rubber post right here that kind of boots it back in. But if it's not going right, it's going to go. I'm just not onto that shot for some reason. Well, I should have been ready for that. I wasn't. Got away with it. I said I've also don't ever I don't know. That's risky trying it on a fly like that. That's a little too early. nice whenever it comes out. Whenever it comes out of the out of the bumpers and comes down that left ramp. So that wasn't too bad. It kind of put it in danger going up towards the pops, but it didn't hit them, so come back down real nice. Yeah, there you go. Up to the pops and down to the center. Yeah. I don't know, maybe the left isn't too bad. Yeah, that one wanted to go. Okay, now we're going to try one on the fly from the right flipper. Right. Whenever you do it on a fly, it's coming back fast. So you got to be ready to, and the chances are it's going to come right down that in lane. It seems to come down the in lane more often if you hit it on the fly. That's what I found, and that's kind of what I've been employing. So I got 18 seconds left already. See, that one wanted to go out the out lane. Whoop, reflex 1, 2, 3, and there's only 8 seconds. Let's see if we can do it. Nope. Time's up. But anyway, I hope this helps you. Just changing the view of the table. You know, this is like I said, setting 1. This is 1 wide. To me, that's just way too close. It's just what I'm used to, you know. This is the one I've used for 2 years until today. You know, certain tables I might like it better. View 3 is like you got your face smashed up against the glass. 4, so. Some of these will scroll. Let's see which ones will scroll with it. Okay, that doesn't scroll with it. Okay, let's change it to 5. See what it does. Yeah, see, it kind of pivots your head. Sometimes I get nauseous when it's doing that. I mean, they try to please everybody by making these different views. And, I don't know. To me, that's just, you know, it's like you're bobbing your head up and down. You know, it's already making me dizzy, so we're going to get trapped up here and try some of the other views. Whoops, that was a real bad shot. That was way too early. And here again, that had a lot to do with the view. You know, your angle that you're viewing the ball is different from here than on the other view I was using. View 6, let's see what it does. Yeah, that kind of zooms in, scrolls down. Zooms in, scrolls down. It ain't bad if you got a flipper, like a flipper up top there where you gotta aim your shot from. Yeah, I made the ramp this many times. Yeah. But whenever it comes screaming back at you, all of a sudden, oh crap, you can't see your flipper, you know, you don't know what's going on. So view 7, a little further out. Yeah, that scrolls even further up, I think. Let's see if we can get the ramp. Yeah, there's just too much. There's just too much going on, you know, with the scrolling, the ball's moving, the screen's moving. You know, it's just, I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. Well, let's see if we can get into multi-ball just for the hell of it, and I'll play this mode out and with this screen. Okay, next master's ready, so that's a little trick you can use to get it to the right flipper so you can shoot the ramp. Okay. Just a plain dude. Okay, now this is the time that you don't want it to drain on a soft plunge. Okay, that's nice and soft. Nice trap. Now notice, that other ball hasn't kicked out because I haven't hit anything. The second it hits that little gate going up the ramp, that ball's coming. So you got to be ready. You got to think about what you're going to do with that ball. You know, while that, hopefully the ball that's on the right flipper is up in the mix master for a few seconds so you can have time to do something with the left ball. Okay. But you see right there, you barely had a view on that ball for much more than a second or two before. Okay. I think I figured out what to do here. My plan is to give it a decent flip, but not a full flip. Like, don't let the flipper come the whole way down and then flip. Just like a half flip, which will send this ball up around here, kind of suspend it in midair. Not really from midair, but it'll get it away from this ball. Then let the flipper drop and shoot this ball into the gift of gap. Done it a couple times. Let's see if I can do it. Well, it's close, but I got away with this one. Now we're back in our unhappy situation. Did you see what I did there? I let it dead bounce. I want that ball on the left flipper, so it's out of my way. It's there for insurance. There we go, we got a jackpot. Now after your jackpot, well, oh well. After your jackpot, you can keep shooting that ramp, and the number of hits up in the mix master you need will increase. So, but I do not like this scrolling stuff, especially whenever you're multi-ball. You saw how you can barely got a glimpse of that ball towards the bottom of the screen, and it's like then you'd really panic, like holy crap, here it comes, you know. Even though you know it's coming, you know, you just panic to see where it's at on the table. It's like, wow, it's right there. You know? So, anyway, enough of my rambling for tonight. 1 o'clock in the morning here, so we'll see you in the chat rooms, Discord, Facebook, email, wherever. Good night.